Hi, thanks so much for meeting with me today. My name is Aubrey Carter, and I just want to ask you a few questions about your experience with the law industry. We'll begin with some general questions before moving into more specific ones. I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today. I want to make sure you're comfortable, and this will be very chill. Everything you share will stay between us and shall only be used for the purpose we discussed. The purpose of this interview is to see if you're ready for this position and job. The topics covered in this interview will be some background information, past leadership roles, numerous strategies and techniques you use on a daily basis. Okay. Why do you think you're the best candidate for this job?
I think that I'm the best candidate for this job because I'm very yeah.
No, it's fine.
So I just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm the best candidate for this job because I'm very hardworking and anything that I set my mind to, I really won't stop until I accomplish it. And I dedicate my all into everything that I do. I'm also very selfless, and in this job, I'll put my clients and the others that I'm working with before myself, but not to an extent to where I will let myself be disrespected. I always am very good at demanding respect from others and putting myself into a high position of power and authority while still maintaining a kind and outgoing demeanor.
Okay, good. Could you share some information about yourself and your background?
Sure. I am a student at Wake Forest University. I am studying political science with a minor in Spanish, and I will hopefully be a lawyer someday. I have three siblings. One of them is my twin sister, and I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but I spend my summers in North Carolina, which is kind of one of the things that's led me here. Yeah, I've also always been super interested in politics, and I've taken a lot of governmental classes in my time as a student, both in high school and college, and I would like to pursue that further.
Hey, how do you manage yourself when working under pressure?
When working under pressure, I feel like the most important thing is to stay calm and collected because a lot of times, whenever you're under pressure, it's easy to get frazzled or anxious. But by staying under pressure, I'm sorry, staying calm in situations like that, it's easier to get the job done and remember the task at hand.
Okay, good response. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself in law school because I'm only a freshman right now. Hopefully at Georgetown Law. It'd be such a dream to work anywhere in DC, honestly, because that's just kind of the hub. Wake Forest has a great program called Wake Washington that I'm hoping to do. Uh, that leans into that sphere a little bit more.
Here. Okay. How do you work to solve problems when things become difficult?
Um, well, one of the most important things that I try to do whenever things become difficult is collaborating with my teammates. As I've said, I'm very good at that, but I'm also very independent. I rely on my strengths, and to do that, it's important to know your strengths. I know that I'm hardworking and I'm always gonna put my best foot forward whenever the pressure is on me the most. So I honestly kind of like some pressure in those situations because I know that it's going to allow me to give my best performance overall.
Okay. What methods and strategies do you use to effectively manage your time?
To effectively manage my time, I always map my schedule out in my head first, and then I every week I write it down, usually in my planner or my Google Calendar. But I also think it's important to set aside free time for myself to make sure that I can have time to catch up everything. So probably once or twice a week, I just go over my checklist, go over my week to make sure that everything is flowing well.
Can you describe a time where you demonstrated successful leadership?
Of course I can. Um, Give me 1 second to think about this.
Okay.
Oh, mm,
You take your time.
thank you. Whenever I was working as a private tennis coach, for the College Racket Club. Um, I was under the supervision of many head pros. These pros had played in a lot of Grand Slams and were very good. But one time I was working under the supervision before I'd actually been hired, and the head pro that was supervising me didn't show up, and I was stuck there with about eight children under 4 years old, and I was just supposed
Wow.
to teach them whatever I'd never done that before. So to show my leadership skills, I quickly taught all of them everything that I knew and just mainly focused on keeping them entertained rather than really trying to teach them anything because at that age, nothing is going in their heads. And after that, my boss promoted me and made me a private tennis coach. So,
Wow. Okay. Can you explain a time you get to deal with information that contradicts your initial opinion?
yeah, of course. So, um, there, oh, I was working at a summer camp this past summer. I dedicate my time to children in North Carolina at my summer camp, and I was initially told that I would be in a cabin watching some super easy children and with a counselor who had done this many times before. But then and I thought that was super easy. And the only thing that I requested was not to have young kids. I really didn't want young kids. But then I found out that the day before that the day before they were coming, I found out that I was going to have young kids and I was not only going to be placed with young kids, but I was going to be placed with young kids all by myself for the first time ever being a counselor. So, and this was really hard for me, honestly. I debated quitting, but I stuck it through.
That's good. Okay. What strategies and techniques do you use to meet the needs of and wants of both parties in a
Um,
situation?
t to meet the needs of both parties, well, you see, I'm Catholic, and honestly, my opinion does not completely go with either of the parties. But to me, the opinions of both parties. Whenever I have a client who has an opinion based off one thing, I really like to put myself in their shoes and think about what they're thinking because I'm anyone that believe has an opinion, their opinion isn't backless or baseless. It's they have some thought process to it, and most of the times I'm able to understand what their opinion, like how they feel, if I just put myself in their shoes. And if that's not working, I just set aside our differences for the greater good, which is the case, which is the job that I am assigned to do, because that's one thing I will get a job done, even if I disagree with my client, I will still get it done.
Okay. Okay, last question. How do you tailor your communication style when talking to different audiences?
Well, like I said, I've had a lot of experience with younger kids. I've also had a lot of experience with the elderly as I volunteer at nursing homes often. And I think that just being around them more and more helps you to know how to speak their language and know the things that they're interested in. I also keep up on social media, so it's good to know the trends and what's going on in the world today. But yeah, just kind of knowing my clients who I'm talking to is how I tailor how I'm speaking to them.
Okay. We're coming to the end of our interview, but before we officially finish, are there any other points about your experience or qualifications you would like to add?
Only that I really want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that I've proved to you that I deserve this job.
Okay, thanks so much again for taking the time to meet with me and sharing all your thoughts and your answers. How do you feel about the accuracy of my summary?
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay, from here, we will review everything that was discussed and we will make a decision from there, and you should hear back from us soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.